Hey, today we're going to talk about how to establish a strong rack. Hey guys, Chris Lopez, kettlebellworkouts.com. All right, so you've mastered the single skills. You know how to snatch, you know how to swing, you know how to clean, you know how to press, you know how to swing, and you know how to do the get up. Did I say swing already? I don't know. Anyway, it's time for you to progress into using double kettlebells. One of the best coaches for you to do that is my personal coach, Jeff Newport, SFGII, and what Jeff says is that in order for you to progress and really excel at your double kettlebell skills, you need to master the rack position. Why the rack position? Well, because that is the position of strength from which all the double kettlebell skills are derived from. So, how do we go about doing that? And what are the three biggest mistakes that people make when they get into the rack position or they try to establish position in the rack? Well, I'm going to show you three huge mistakes that people make. I know that they're mistakes because I made them myself when I was learning how to use doubles and I didn't quite grasp what was going on. All right, so just so that we're clear, the rack position, and I've got my double kettlebells here, is here. Okay, so I'm lit up, I'm creating as much tension as I possibly can, and I'm holding the kettlebells in the rack position. So, mistake number one. Mistake number one is not using enough tension and soft styling the rack position. So basically what you're doing is you're using the structure of your bones, your tendons, and your ligaments to kind of hold the kettlebells in place as opposed to creating tension when you're in the rack position. So let me show you what I mean. Correct rack position. So correct rack position is here. So my kneecaps are up into my hips. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm bracing my abs. I'm imagining that I'm growing roots through my feet and I'm nice and tall. I'm engaging my lats. I'm crush gripping the bells. So proper rack position, nice and tight. Soft style rack position that people really tend to use when they start to get lazy is this. So you can see I'm kind of sitting into my hips and I'm not in good posture. My gut's out, my knees are bent, and I'm pretty sloppy looking. So the reason why we don't want to do that is because this is hard style and we want to maximize tension. And the only way that you can really maximize tension is if you maintain structural integrity and use as many muscles as possible holding yourself into that rack position, right? You'll notice that in the soft style rack where I'm kind of leaning into it there, no tension means I've got no foundation for strength. So if I wanted to press the kettlebells from this position here, it's going to be really tough because I'm in a kind of a sloppy hunch position as opposed to being perpendicular with the ground and creating that good foundation so that I could push from my glutes to be able to press it up. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two, and I'm sure you've seen it before, is this. And I might need to get a little bit closer. Okay? So and I'm going to come to you. Now here's mistake number two, and I got to come closer. So you see what I'm doing there? All the tension that's occurring in the rack position is going to happen from my collarbone down. So you can't see it right now, but I'm incredibly tense and I'm nice and tight in every possible muscle of my body, and yet I'm still able to maintain a conversation with you and my face is nice and relaxed. So don't take all the weight up into your face and create that pulling all your breath up into your face and above your shoulders because you'll hyperventilate and then you'll die. Just kidding, you won't die. And then finally, mistake number three is this. Proper rack mistake, and you'll see this a lot when people try to double front squat. So, good double front squat, bad double front squat. So you can see that in that position where my elbows are away, I'm not really able to engage my lats, I'm not really able to engage my abs, and the kettlebells are pretty much resting on my deltoids or on my shoulders, so it's kind of like a lateral raise. Proper rack position is making sure that your elbows are attached to your rib cage, that your abs are nice and fired, and that you're nice and tight. Okay, so those are 3 major mistakes that you see with the double kettlebell rack. The rack position, if you want to really start to familiarize yourself with doubles, as Jeff would say, get comfortable with discomfort. And so take those kettlebells, clean them up, get them into the rack, and get comfortable with power breathing with the bells there in the rack while creating tension from the floor all the way up. Hold that for maybe reps of 10 to 15 seconds each, and then park the bells and shake out all that tension, and that'll really help you get ready for the double kettlebell skills. So I'm Chris Lopez, kettlebellworkouts.com. If you want more information on the best way to really use the double kettlebells, then click the link just below this video and it'll take you right there. Hey guys, Chris Lopez, kettlebellworkouts.com, and today we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes that people most commonly make when they do the kettlebell snatch. So let's understand one thing, and that is a snatch is just a swing that finishes up overhead. And so you really, before you even start snatching a kettlebell, you really want to make sure